What is going on, everyone? The Houston Texans are looking to get back into the win column in this Week 8 matchup. They are at home. The Indianapolis Colts and Anthony Richardson come to town. This is the second matchup of the year for these two teams. We got an AFC South divisional matchup here, guys. We know how these games are. They might come down to the very end. But the Houston Texans are looking to complete the sweep, already beating the Indianapolis Colts in Week 1, where they saw Stephon Diggs catch 2 tutties. No Nico Collins this time. We're going to preview this game. My name is Ruben Calavillo. This is the 713 Houston Sportcast, where I drop daily Houston Texans content. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest news, rumors, and updates. And this episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS. Guys, we are on the BetUS website looking at the Houston Texans versus Indianapolis Colts matchup. And a couple of days ago, they were 6-point favorites. Now the Houston Texans are 4.5-point favorites. Vegas thinks this might be a very close game. It's an AFC divisional matchup. Should we expect anything different from a heart attack? But you already know where I'm going. I put money on the Houston Texans when they were 6.5-point favorites. Guys, BetUS, they're giving you a 150% bonus on your first deposit up to $2,000. On your second and third, it's a 125 sign-up bonus with promo code YouTube150. BetUS, where the game begins, 24 hours customer service, quick 24-hour payouts. Start making y'all some bread. Right off the bat, this is a big game for both teams. With the Indianapolis Colts 4-3, looking to go 2 games above 500. They are trying to stay around in the wild card mix. The Houston Texans 5-2. You get a win. You continue to separate yourself from the division, sole possession of the AFC South. And like I mentioned a few weeks ago, you have to start looking at some of the top teams and think about seeding. This is a big game for both the Indianapolis Colts and the Houston Texans. And if the Texans want to walk out with the victory, this offensive line needs to wake up. DeForest Buckner might be back. I think he is practicing or has been practicing with Indy. Laramie Tunsil, you have a captain's patch on your chest. You are someone who complains about not getting the All-Pro nomination. This is your moment here. Kenyon Green, you are being labeled as a bust. You've heard me say, if any move needs to be made for the offensive line, it is at left guard. It needs to be Kenyon Green to be benched. Come on, Kenyon. Juice Scruggs, we heard that communication is an issue at the offensive line. You're the one snapping the ball. You're the one who I believe is going to be a leader, a captain for this Houston Texans team in the future. Let's get it right. Shaq Mason, you're a veteran. You've been in the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, with New England, with Tampa Bay. You know what it takes to get there. Now is not the time to be lackadaisical. Titus Howard, big contract extension because we thought you were one of the best right tackles in the NFL. You haven't played like it. Show me something. CJ Stroud was pressured 48% last week of his dropbacks by the Green Bay Packers, and they only blitzed around 17 to 19% of the time. We've heard CJ Stroud said, I am exciting for the offensive line this week against Indianapolis. It sounds like the offensive line themselves is excited. We are at home. There shouldn't be no false starts. This offensive line has played clean football penalty-wise. They just been sucking on the field. But if the Houston Texans want to walk out this game with the W, then this offensive line needs to keep CJ Stroud upright and create lanes for number 28, Joe Mixon. Another key to victory for this Houston Texans team, dominating the Indianapolis Colts O-line, forcing Anthony Richardson to beat you with his arm, second and long, third and long. That's what I need to see from this Houston Texans defense. Last week against Miami, Anthony Richardson, 10 of 24, 129 yards, didn't throw an INT, but a quarterback rating of 59.2. Now, this is the Miami Dolphins, ladies and gentlemen. What's crazy is last week, Anthony Richardson was sacked 0 times. However, under pressure 60% of the time. The Miami Dolphins blitz 50% of the time. We know that when Anthony Richardson is uncomfortable, he is inaccurate as hell. Will Anderson Jr., a sack last week against Green Bay. 3 sacks the week prior against New England. Danielle Hunter almost had 2 sacks against Green Bay in the fourth quarter. He did get home on one of them. I think these two are waking up. Another week we also got of Danico Autry knocking off the rust, coming off a 6-game suspension. This front four is going to be huge for this game. You got to stop Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor said that he doesn't want to put any negativity in the air, but he thinks he'll be ready to go. So that's 2 big pieces for Indy coming back, right? DeForest Buckner on the D-line and maybe Jonathan Taylor for the offense. The last time JT went against the Houston Texans, a horrible day. I believe off of 16 rushes, only 48 yards. One of his worst performances against the Houston Texans. But this defensive line, guys, is going to have a tough task. Now, Henry To'oTo'o was at practice. We also did sign Devin White, free agent linebacker. Kamari Lassiter was at practice. So the Houston Texans themselves are also getting pieces back. But if they want to win this game, they have to make Anthony Richardson uncomfortable. We know he's going to give us an interception or 2. We got to take advantage of them. My third key to the game, Joe Mixon. Last time he went against the Indianapolis Colts, he ran the ball 30 times, 159 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown. This might be number 28's day. You've seen him put on Twitter/X, we will be back next week. The Houston Texans needed a game-changing running back, and that's exactly what Joe Mixon is, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this Houston Texan offense has a chip on their shoulder. Even D'Amico Ryans talked about all the criticism he's heard from this offense, and all this criticism is warranted. When you bring in a Mixon, when you bring in a Stephon Diggs, when you re-sign Nico Collins, in the offseason, we're having conversations of this being one of the best offenses in the NFL, and it has not been that just yet. At one point, you are what you are. We need to see this Houston Texan offense wake up, and it might be on the hands of running back Joe Mixon. The Houston Texans' best offense is when Joe Mixon is out there on the field. He is my key to the game. If you have to give it to him 30 times, give it to him 30 times. Can one of these pass catchers wake up? Stephon Diggs? Actually, no. Tank Dell. You are a fan favorite here in Houston. We love the story during the draft. I understand you went through a crazy offseason, a fractured fibula, getting shot through the leg. Now we need you, Tank Dell. We need you to have a game like we saw last year where we were having the conversations. Are you the home run threat for this Houston Texan offense? Are you C.J. Stroud's number 1 wide receiver? We've heard Tank Dell say he's built for the big lights. Well, the lights will be bright on Sunday. I don't know if anyone else is putting a lot of stock into this game, but I am. I need to see one of these pass catchers wake up and be there for number 7, C.J. Stroud. Dalton Schultz, number 86. We need to see something. We need to see an arrival. We need to see a touchdown. There are a lot of criticisms, ladies and gentlemen. There are a lot of, there is a lot of skepticism about this Houston Texan offense, and it's all warranted. It is. But my key to the game, my third and final key to the game, giving the ball to Joe Mixon, letting him be the workhorse, the bell cow, and let's get a W against the Indianapolis Colts, man. I have the Houston Texans winning this game 30-24. It's going to be a close one. I think the offense gets going. Maybe Kyrie Fairbairn hits another game winner like he's done all season. But man, guys, this is going to be a tough one, a fun one. For more Houston Texans content, you guys know what to do. Feel free to follow me for more. This episode was brought to you and powered by BetUS. Start making some money today. BetUS, where the game begins. You all have a very blessed day.